Well, if you're the manager that was just told you're responsible for safety too, then this video is for you. You see, I see it all the time. Oftentimes, a manager that's newly put in charge of safety, they start Googling, they look on AI, they figure, what do I need to do to be a safety manager? What do I need to know? What does the job entail? And they find the OSHA 30 course and they say, that's it. That's going to solve my problems. I'm going to take the OSHA 30 course and I'm going to learn how to be a safety manager. And sadly, they are mistaken. You see, if you're thinking of signing up for an OSHA 30 course, stop. Don't wait until you see the rest of this video. And that comes from somebody that teaches OSHA 30 courses. I can tell you something that will do a much better job and make you a much better safety manager. Just give me about 15 minutes. Let's jump in. Well, hey friend, my name is David Sawyer. I'm a safety coach. I work with busy managers and help them go from being overwhelmed by OSHA regulations to OSHA ready. And oftentimes I can do it in less than 90 days. I'll give you the confidence and the clarity you need to have the peace of mind that comes with a solid safety program. If you want to get started, a great starting place is by going to my website, Help with OSHA, helpwithosha.com, and you can access a free OSHA audit checklist. This is not just a PDF, it's actually an online video that explains what you need to do to prepare your company for an unexpected OSHA visit. So download this free this free checklist today. It's a great way to learn what you need to know and to have in place what you need to have in place should OSHA come knocking. Now, in this episode, I want to talk with you about what you need to do instead of taking an OSHA 30 course. So hear me out, because there are times when an OSHA 30 course is a perfect fit. I've done it. I've taken it. I'm an instructor. I teach it. But I'm telling you, so often I see the wrong people in these courses. You see, an OSHA 30 course is good at providing safety vocabulary. It gives you the words and the terminology. It will give you hazard awareness. It'll teach you about the regulatory system, about OSHA, and it gives you a basic understanding of compliance. These are all good things and stuff you need. You just don't necessarily need it right off the bat. This is the foundation that helps you really grow into your role as a safety manager. Again, it's not bad stuff, it's good stuff. It will teach you about the standards. It'll teach you about safety programs and training, all good things. But what it doesn't do, it doesn't help you build a safety program. It doesn't give you the management tools that you need to actually have a safety management system. It doesn't teach you how to train your supervisors or how to train your employees. It doesn't give you a framework to use when it comes to a safety culture and building a culture. And it doesn't create buy-in, right? You go off and you take the course and you put all the information in your head, but you're on an island. You're doing it alone. It doesn't build that camaraderie or of a safety culture. The bottom line is OSHA 30 teaches information, but the information doesn't help you build a system that works at your facility. You see, information is good, but let's be honest. We got information at our fingertips all day long. If you want to know the OSHA regulations, you can punch it in your phone and find out really quick. That's not what you need help with. You need help putting a system in place to train your employees. Having a system in place to make sure you're documenting what needs to be documented. Having a system in place to verify and do inspections. You need a system that helps you do safety. And the truth is, you could be walking into a system that's already pre-built, right? That's like the perfect scenario. If you're the manager that's newly responsible for safety, there's probably a previous safety manager that already had a framework in place. And you just got to kind of learn the system that he or she had and how it fits. But then there's another scenario, and I see this all the time. I see safety managers that step into a safety program that really is non-existent. The guy or the girl before him was going on autopilot, and was just doing the bare minimum, or even worse than that. Sometimes you don't have a system at all. If you don't have a system, where do you start? Well, the OSHA 30, again, that gives you information, but it's not actually giving you a system. So I want to tell you a story, and this is a story that I see over and over again. There's a manager that gets newly put in charge of safety, and he doesn't know what he doesn't know. He doesn't know what he needs to do. So he signs up for an OSHA 30 course. And he goes the OSHA 30 course, and he realizes, wow, we're not doing half of this stuff. And he gets overwhelmed. And then he goes back to his company, and he tries to do everything. He's trying to do the right thing because he knows this needs to be done and that needs to be done. And we need lockout procedures, and we need to do a fire drill, and we need personal protective equipment. And he's got all these things bouncing around in his head, like all these things that need to be done. They need to be done right now. And then he has his boss call him over and say, hey, we don't got time for that, man. We got to get this product out the door. You know, we've never had a problem with this. The guy before you, he didn't do all this. And you start feeling this pressure. You're feeling this stress coming from what you know you should be doing. And then you're feeling the stress of management telling you, hey, man, chill out. You know, we'll get there. And then you feel the stress of what if somebody gets hurt? What if we have an OSHA inspection? What if I'm missing something? That happens in the mind of new safety managers and experienced safety managers all the time. They're wondering, what am I missing? What do I not have under control? You see, knowledge isn't the problem. It's not information you need. It's a structured system. So I want to tell you three things that you can do this week that will give you a leg up on your safety programs. The first thing you need to do is you got to get some clarity around where you are right now. You got to do a safety assessment. You got to have a safety snapshot. Where are we right now? Identify, what are you missing? What programs need to be in place? How is someone going to get hurt? That's one of the best questions you can ask, is to ask, how would somebody get hurt? And then make sure you have a way to prevent it in place. When I'm doing coaching and team exercises with managers, that's one question I always throw out there. I say, hey, if you came to work tomorrow morning and there was a serious accident the night before, what would have happened? And just let them fill in the blank. Let them think and process and try to figure out, where are the gaps in the system we have right now? Because you know where they are. You know where the gaps are. We just got to pull it out. And a safety assessment is a great way to do that. It gives you a clear understanding of where you are right now. Because again, you could be walking into a program, a safety program that's, hey man, this is turnkey. Everything's the way we need it. Or you could be walking into a program that's non-existent. So you got to figure out, where are we now? Where are we right now? What does the safety assessment look like? Where are our biggest hazards? Where is somebody going to get seriously hurt? Where have we had past injuries that were minor but still recordable? And where did we have near misses where nobody has been hurt yet, but man, it's just a matter of time. So you want to do that safety assessment. That's the first thing you want to do. The second thing you need to do is you got to have clear expectations. You see, remember the story I told you a minute ago, how the manager gets out of the OSHA 30 course and they have so much information in their head and they go, you know what? We're going to do everything. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to do the other thing. And, you know what happens? Burnout happens. The safety manager gets overwhelmed and then eventually they go, ugh, I can't do it all. You see, not everything is urgent, but some things are really important. Let me say that again. Not everything is urgent, but some things are really important. You want to set clear expectations with your team. You want to teach them Teach your employees what are the expectations. If we have forklift operators, there needs to be some really clear expectations that are set. This is how we operate the forklift in this area. This is what we use it for. These are the people authorized to drive the equipment. This is how we do inspections on the equipment. This is how we do maintenance on the equipment. So setting clear expectations. Clear expectations. That's the second thing for your company. Now, the third thing is, after we've done the safety assessment, after we've set the expectations, we got to build in buy-in. So we build in buy-in. And what I mean by that is there's got to be ownership at every level of the organization so that people that are signing the paychecks know this is a priority. The people that are managing the crews know this is a priority. The HR manager knows it's a priority. The maintenance manager knows it's a priority. We need to have safety built in. And this takes time. This is not an overnight fix. It's not a, snap your fingers and everybody is on the same page. It's a process. It's a process. You got to make sure you're over communicating the expectations, that you're having regular safety meetings and regular safety reports. And that's where, sometimes there's a disconnect where people go, man, why do I got to fill out where people go, man, why do I got to fill out these reports? Why do I got to do this every night? Why do I got to do this every week? Why do I got to do this every month? There needs to be some feedback that explains why we do what we do. We don't want to do it just because we've always done it that way. We want to build a safety culture that becomes, this is just how we do it. We do it the safe way every time. That's how we do it. So those are the three phases. If you can say, hey, we're going to have a safety assessment, we're going to set clear expectations, and we're going to build a culture. Man, if you do that, you'll have a system in place. But here's the thing. You can have a system, right? That's the map. If you look at it, you go, I'm right here. I want to go over there. How do I get there? Well, these are the phases that lead to a safety management system that works. And it works. But if we're being honest, it's kind of like a map. Have you ever gotten lost and you had a map? I know I have, right? Go back in time before we use Google Maps and before we had our phones that were showing us the directions. If you go back to the day of paper maps, I've been lost and I had a paper map in my car. And you pull out the old paper map and you get the light and you're trying to figure out, okay, wait, I know I was over here and I'm trying to get over there, but what road do I took the wrong exit. I took the wrong exit. You can have a map and you still get lost because you don't have somebody navigating for you. So what I would encourage you, instead of taking an OSHA 30 course, if you want to get some clarity on your system, book a call with me. If you book a safety assessment with me, we will talk about your current status. We'll talk about the safety inspection, and I will be able to, as an outsider looking in, right? I'll be able to give you some clear guidance on where you need to go. So go to my website, helpwithosha.com, book a call with me, and it's a way that you can say, okay, I know where I am now, I know where I want to go, and you can have a guide along the way. Because you don't need more information. You need structure, you need a system, and you need a coach. You need to work with somebody that's been where you are now. And I'm telling you, if you're sitting there and going, I didn't even want this job, I've been there. But you can still be incredibly successful at it. You just have to know what to focus on. With safety, as is with whatever you're used to, if it's maintenance or lean manufacturing or HR, there's a gazillion things to think about. All you got to think about is the next right step. And I can help you do it. But, you don't have to work with me. There's a choice, right? We all know that. There's a choice. You can say, I'm going to keep doing it the way I'm doing it. I'm going to take these nuggets of information that I got on the video and I'm going to use it. I'm going to go do a safety assessment. You can keep doing it the way you're doing it. Or you can speed up the process. You can speed up the process. And you can get to where you want to go a lot faster with somebody that's been there before. With a safety expert in your corner that's not just going to give you facts and figures and information, but actually give you a roadmap to where you want to go. That's the real kicker. Now, with that being said, maybe you watch this video all the way to the end and you go, you know what? I think I need an OSHA 30 course. Fantastic. I'm a big fan of OSHA 30. Please don't take anything I said out of context. I teach it. I believe in it. It matters. I just want to make sure you're signing up for the right reason. If you're signing up to get good information and to get a solid foundation about OSHA standards and understanding hazards and understanding what you need to know from an informational standpoint, that's the place to be. But if you want a system, if you want to learn how to be a safety manager, if you want to learn how to go from being overwhelmed to OSHA ready, then book a call with me. It's the best next step to take. Go to my website, helpwithosha.com, or you can check the notes in this section here, and you can click on it, and you can go ahead and schedule a call. I look forward to talking with you. Until we talk again, until I put out another video, let's do everything we can to keep the people we work with safe, because no one should get hurt at work.